How do you withdraw income in retirement so you never run out? That's what I'm going to show you right now. So you can see on my screen here, this is a video that I put out 7 months ago. Over 140,000 of you said, hey, this is the video that I'm looking for. If I'm going to retire early and I have different types of accounts, brokerage accounts, pre-tax assets like 401ks and IRAs, Roth IRAs, what's the actual way I'm going to like create income? Like, do I just pull evenly from each one? Is it a little bit over time? What if markets change? What if healthcare and tax strategy? I'm going to go into more detail today. That was a nice overview. Today, I'm going to get a little bit more technical. So stick with me here, but it's going to be fun. I try to keep these always entertaining for you guys. If you don't know, my name is Ari Taubleib. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast. And finally, I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Root. Now, I have a lot of different videos where my amazing editor is going to help me out, and I'll say, look at this video if you have $2 million, and I'll point right here, and it'll feel a little weird because it just does, and it always has been. That's not this video. You can see here, this is just a raw video. I am just recording this for you guys. So sometimes, yeah, I like the super edited content. Other times it's like, hey, let's just chat like we're friends here. So I'm doing different things. If you guys resonate with this style or the other style more, just let me know in the comments. Continue to rely on your feedback. So here's what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain an analogy, and I want to go over it with this in mind. So this says, use the guardrails approach to avoid running out of money in retirement. And look at this, guys. It's from someone who has a PhD. OMG. I joke on my other videos, if you guys have not seen, of like, some people reach out and they're like, I should work with you at Root. You know, I'm from Harvard and Yale and all these fancy schools. And I'm like, okay, explain to me this concept. And they're like, you know, I think I don't need to explain that to you. I mean, my credentials speak for themselves. I'm like, I don't care where you graduated from. You got to explain it in a way that resonates. So the point here is I'm going to be summarizing this article here. There's a lot in here that's great. There's also a lot in here that I'll say like, don't worry about. Like, part of my job as an advisor, or even as your advisor on YouTube, is to be like, hey, here's a gazillion things that you're going to see. You need $1 million to retire, 10 million, 5 million. You don't. Okay, here's what you really need. So a lot of this is applicable, but a lot of this is not. So I'm going to give you a super simple example that I built and that I'm going to go into in here in just a second in my technical side. But here's the quick story I want to tell you. So there's a true story. I went to the doctor. This is like 8 months ago now because I'm recording this in February. It was last summer. And I said, hey, doc, what you just said there sounded really good. I believe what you said, and I think you believe it sounded good. He's like, thank you. I'm like, but I have no idea what you just said. So try explaining it again. He goes, okay. So he starts explaining to me the lab that the pills are made in, that he's going to give me that pill. I said, doctor, I'm sorry. I don't care about the lab. I'm not a mean guy, I promise. But I don't care about the lab that makes the pills you're going to give me. Just tell me why I need this pill or why I don't need this pill. I'm not going to take it blindly, but I don't want to go so deep in the weeds. I just need a basic analysis. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is I have some clients that will go, Ari, I know you like these videos. Just tell me why I need the pill and how I take it. Just give it to me simple. I have $2 million. How much income do I withdraw? Just give it to me. Okay, great. Like, I can give that client that answer. Other people go, no, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to sleep better knowing a little bit of that lab, but I don't need you to go like Mondo on the lab. Just like enough that I feel, yeah, you clearly thought through this. So that's my goal today. It's the latter. I'm going to show you the lab, but I'm not going to go so deep where you're like, oh my gosh, you've lost me again. 1,000 graphs and numbers where I'm falling asleep. Because most people go to an advisor and they're like, here we go. More numbers, more graphs. I'm going to pretend not to fall asleep. They don't say that, but I would say that because I'm very transparent. So with that being said, let's hop in. What the heck is this guardrails approach? Okay, so I'm going to explain it super simply, and then I'm going to show you an example. So what is this guardrails approach? Some of you guys are like, Ari, enough with these analogies, but here's how I like to learn. So that's how I like to explain it. That's from a mentor of mine. So all of you, when you're in retirement, you want income, okay? Think about income like going bowling, okay? Now, if any of you are big bowlers, you're going to think this is terrible, but just stick with me for a second. And if this doesn't resonate, tell me, but I hope it does. So let's assume you're going, you're like, here it is. It's my time to shine. I've seen the Big Lebowski. Here we go. you take the ball, roll it down the lane, you hit as many pins as possible. You're trying to create income. That's what you're doing. Now, some of you are going to hit gutter balls. Okay. That's like, what if the market crashes and you take income at the worst possible time? That's like a gutter ball. Okay. Some of you are like, I'm the best person ever. I only retire. I have the most magical portfolio. It just keeps going up. I hit strikes every single time. Some of you are so bad, like my fiance, that you get gutter balls on the other person's lane. Okay. Now, I'm allowed to joke with my fiance about that. We get married in August, by the way. Now, there's a cheat code to everything I just said. Okay. You want to take a guess? I'll give you 3 seconds. If you want to put it in the comments. 1, 2, 3. The cheat code is bowling with the bumpers up. I wouldn't let you hit a gutter ball. So for my clients, I'm saying, here's the most amount of money you can spend. And if you go over this, then it jeopardizes XYZ risk. Here's the least amount of money that if you don't at least spend this, I'm going to be pissed because you told me you didn't want to die with $10 million. And so like, what are we doing here? What's the goal of what you just work so hard to save and invest? So this bowling analogy, in retirement, you want to have these guardrails. Call them bumpers, call them whatever you want. So most people will follow in retirement this thing that's called the 4% rule, okay? I'm going to explain it in a simple way, okay? The 4% rule says, if you take 4% of your portfolio, you can be rest assured you will not run out of money for 30 years. That's what the study was based on. And it assumes you only have 2 asset classes. Intermediate term U.S. bonds, don't worry about what that means in detail, and U.S. large caps like the S&P 500. So think about it like this. A bunch of bonds, S&P 500. Here's the problem. The problem is, number one, a lot of my clients, they're not planning for a 30-year time horizon. So that's an issue. Because what if you retire at 50? You want to run out of money at 80? No, you don't. Number 2 is, let's assume intermediate term U.S. bonds and the S&P 500 just aren't doing well. Well, that's a problem. We're going to have to go sell something at a loss, which is not good because now you're literally kind of permanently putting a loss on those dollars. And now, well, yeah, you're going to create income, but you're spending while markets are going down. That's really scary. It's a permanent loss of purchasing power. So what the Guardrails approach is saying, which to me, it's just reasonable, it's just logical, is saying, hey, what if you have more asset classes? What if you have a little bit of real estate, passively owned? What if you have some small companies? What if you have international companies? What if you have so many different asset classes? If something is down, you don't really have to worry because something else will be up. You have enough moving levers that you can always pull from cash, from asset classes that are uncorrelated. This is a way to essentially protect your portfolio. It's not necessarily going to make you tons of money. The goal is to protect and create income for the rest of your life. You don't need to hit home runs. So the Guardrails approach is saying, can we get consistent singles and doubles if you're a baseball fan for the rest of your life? And it's saying if we go a step further, what is it projected from a lifetime perspective? Well, it's projected to, if you do it right, you can take out between 5.2 to 5.6% of your portfolio, and that's projected to last for 40 years of income, which is a whole lot more applicable. So the point here is withdrawal rates, whether it be 4% or 5%, how much you take from the portfolio, it's important, but it's not black and white. And what a lot of people do is they don't take enough from their portfolio because they're scared they're going to run out, which is very reasonable. But then what happens is their withdrawal rate later in life is so high because they didn't spend enough. So pretend you retire at 50. You're like, I don't want to run out of money. I want to travel, but not too much because, once again, I don't want to run out. Well, now you might be 65, 70, and your withdrawal rate is starting to get really, really high, not because you want it to, but you didn't spend as much, and now you have Social Security helping out. Now maybe there's rental income or a pension or inheritance. And so it's almost like you were trying to protect the first few years of retirement, which is great and reasonable. But now it's like your retirement long-term looks great, but maybe you sacrifice lifestyle those first 5, 10, 15 years. And I don't want you to make that mistake. So number one, absolutely, I don't want you to run out of money. Here's a better way of looking at it. Because so far I've just kind of given you, trust me, this is how I feel about it. And I love this stuff. But look at this chart for a second. I'm going to explain this. And there's not a lot of charts I'll show my clients. But these are three different portfolios. I'm going to show you each of them. But all of these people are starting with $2 million, okay? So $2 million bucks, it's all the same. You could see some of them, like this blue one here, portfolio one, look at this. And this is, they have $3 million and then it's down and then it's up. And, you know, if they go, what is this? 25 years. Oh, actually, I think I'm only doing a 15-year time horizon here. But I could choose a different one, and I'll show you why in a second. That they're now on track to have $1 million, you know, 15 years later. You can also see here, there's this one, portfolio 3. Well, this one runs out of money. Oh, that's why I did this one. I wanted to see when it gets to 0. Let me show you like what I did here, okay? So this is a little bit of the lab, but I want you guys to just stick with me here real quick, okay? So these are 3 different portfolios. Ready? Portfolio number 1, this is a 60-40 portfolio. So U.S. stock market, 60%, U.S. bond market, 40%, okay? Portfolio number 2, 40% U.S. stock market, global ex-U.S., which means international, okay? U.S. bonds and then REITs. What the heck are those? Real estate investment trusts. So it's a little bit more diversified, okay? And then portfolio 3 is all bonds, okay? All bonds. And I'm showing you this so that you can see portfolio 1. What that is that in this case is the one that wins, quote unquote. Portfolio 1 is this dark blue. Portfolio 1 is a 60-40 portfolio. Look at this. It beat the diversified portfolio by about $185,000. And then the all bonds, it ran out of money. And so the reason I'm showing you this is here's someone that hypothetically has a portfolio. And what I did is I said from not 1972, because all these indexes have different time frames that they began. So 1972, 20 to today, basically, let's assume you start with $2 million and you take out $180,000 a year. Will you run out of money? Now, we could do the same thing and say, let's assume there's $1.4 million. And let's make sure I got my zeros right. Yes, I did. Good job. I don't normally get that. But you don't need 180. You want $100,000, okay? Well, I could do a fixed amount. I could do a percentage. I could do like the 4% withdrawal rate. Assuming you start with 1.4 million. What if we did that? Click analyze here. We can go down here, look at this. The 60-40 portfolio, oh my God, if they did the 4% rule, they started with 1.4 million, 1993, 35 years later, they've got 4.6. They're balling. They're more than okay. Now, the bond portfolio was also okay, but there was a lot less money in terms of what it could have created for them. So this is a cool tool just to be able to, it's called portfoliovisualizer.com. I don't sell this. This is a separate website, so I don't give access to this, but it's cool. And so you can go in and kind of really hopefully increase your confidence. Now, what it's not going to do is say you should take from this account over this account. It's a good starting spot. And so let's assume you go, no, I don't want to do that kind of fixed percentage. I'd rather go with a fixed amount. We're going to do $200,000 a year. Well, if you're to do $200,000 a year and you have $3.5 million bucks, you can analyze and still see, okay, what would different portfolios do? Like when would your bonds run out of money? And the reason I'm showing you this is some of you are like, hey, I know I need a diverse portfolio, but I just don't know the optimal mix. Well, part of why I'm showing you this is, okay, so here's someone with a 60-40 portfolio, and here's someone with a 70-30 portfolio. The green is 70-30, the blue is 60-40. They're both more than okay. Yeah, is one of them more optimal in this case? Yes. But the reason I'm showing you this, guys, is I don't need you to feel like you have it perfect. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make is, I don't know if I have the perfect strategy. Look, it might not be, but perfect is relative. And how do you get a strategy that you align with? What's really cool here is the portfolio that won here, this dark blue, this had 60% equities, 60% of things that are generally more volatile, stocks. The green is 70% equities, more volatile, and it ended up losing. So this one would have had more ups and downs, which you would think would create more value, more return, but it didn't. Why? Because markets are different. You can see here, there's one point here where it's almost the same in 2007. You can see the green is moving very different to the dark blue, and there will be times where it's the opposite. So what's the point here? To summarize this guardrails approach, what it's saying is, are you willing to be adjustable? I'm going to explain this. And if you want to see what it looks like in real life, this is the lab. So I'm going to link this article. I'm going to copy this. So if you want to look at it, you can certainly see it. Excuse me. But the real difference with this guardrails approach, I'll explain in the following manner. So let's pretend you're a business owner and your business is doing really well. You might hire employees. You might buy equipment. You're trying to grow the business. But if your business is not doing well, you probably won't do those things. You probably won't go hire. Well, most people in retirement, they're doing that. They're spending $10,000 a month, whether markets do good or markets do bad. That is a sure way to run out of money. We don't live in fairyland. And so what the guardrails approach is saying, hey, if you have a business and it's not doing well, maybe you don't go hire employees. Maybe you don't buy more equipment. The analogy for the retirement world that I'll use is, if you're in retirement and you're a business owner and markets aren't doing well, I might ask you, if you're my client, to spend a little bit less, spend $8,000 a month instead of $10,000 a month for these 3 months while markets aren't doing well. And the reason we're going to do that is it's going to add XYZ value. And on the flip side, I'll say, hey, markets are doing well. I want you to spend more money. This is the year to take extra trips. You've always wanted to fly first class. Now is the time to do it. I'll be both of those people, but you need to be, you see what I'm doing here, guys? Retirement boxer. I need you to be dynamic. I need you to be willing to go, okay, yep, my health just changed. I'm turning Social Security on. Even though I was going to delay to help my spouse in case something happened to me. But now it actually makes sense for me to turn on. Ooh, I was so worried about healthcare before I retired. I was going to work 3 more years for healthcare. But you know what? It turns out my plan, it can afford it. So I'm going to pay that healthcare premiums, even if I've never paid for $10,000 a month, $10,000 a year in healthcare in my life. Are you willing to kind of take this retirement planning to the next level? If you guys thought this video was helpful, please let me know and like this video and share it with friends that you want to retire early with. If you want to work with Root and my team, you can certainly apply to do so in the description below. And that is it. I'll see you guys next time.